Hello, gamer. Welcome. How are you? I hope you're well. No technical issues this time, thank God. Yeah, I'm alright. I had a busy day at work, but I got off 2 hours earlier than usual, so I am a little tired, but eager to do more Final Fantasy. Yeah, thanks for changing her outfit right in my ear. Little Lala. Alright. Let's switch over. This little Lala just changed her outfit in my ear and I was like, whoa, what is that? But good luck, buddy. Alright, the Watcher. The time has come for you to be on your way. The crater is at the heart of Marlar Lamentorum, where Zodiark... wait, hold on, let me try that again. The crater at the heart of Marlar Lamentorum, where Zodiark was imprisoned, is not so easily traversed, however. Let us call upon Argos, the familiar whom you met earlier. He should have no trouble bearing you across. Oh, shit. I accidentally skipped something, but basically Argos isn't here. The Watcher is saying, it is his nature to appear when needed, and yet he is nowhere to be found. Strange, mayhaps the imbalancing of ether has affected him. Let us make for the crushing brand and attempt to call upon him there. You need but recall the path you walked with Argos before, and you will find your way. If he labors in service to Heidelin's plan, I see no reason not to do as he suggests. Shall we make for this crushing brand, then? I think I forgot to turn on a setting. Yeah. No. There we go. Oh, whoops, I just hit the mic. I'm sorry if that was loud. Still getting used to it being right in front of my face. The place we seek is just ahead at the Chloropos Grot. Chloropos Grot, yeah. You see, Argos cannot manifest without sufficient concentrations of ambient ether. You would be hard-pressed to find a greater confluence than inside this cavern. Follow me. I watched the previous stream back. And yeah, even looking back on it, there was no saving those first 2 runs of fighting Zodiark. But I was kind of laughing at me panicking, but I could tell, like, I was tired and just frazzled. Yes, here will do nicely. The lunar spongoi draw ether from the ground, which is then dispersed in the air. At present, however, the ambient energies are not quite sufficient for Argos to manifest. Might you be willing to spare some of your own to help the spongoi along? Is that how you pronounce that? If not, then it is now. Argos manifests in a flash. He seems glad to see you again. A most fascinating creation of Heidelin's, would you not agree? Should the need arise, he is even able to create reflections of himself on a whim. Though I assure you it was no reflection which accompanied you earlier to the brand. No, Argos was quite eager to be at your side then, as he is now, it seems. I cannot recall when last he showed such an affinity for anyone else. Indeed, I thought him more likely to shy away from you and your companions. Perhaps this was more than a sense of duty that compelled him to aid you before. Are you my friend, doggy? As for your companions... Unexpected, but greatly appreciated. I believe we are all ready. Then let us return outside that you may cross the chasm. Just a horde of glowing dogs. Just another Thursday. Don't worry, Veronica, you'll always be my bestie. Your destination is the structure there across the cradle of darkness. But climb onto Argos's back and he will take care of the rest. Once you arrive, it should not take long to find the ship's crew. The facility is designed to rouse them from their slumber in the event of Zodiark's destruction. Heed their counsel. Together you may guide the star and its people to a kinder fate. This is where we part ways. But know that I shall ever be watching and praying for your success. Thanks, friend. Our allies' assurances notwithstanding, we cannot be certain what awaits us on the other side, so perhaps it would be best if we did not all go at once. I propose the two of us cross first while Thancred and Urianger wait here, so they can have a little moon date. I get it. Let's go! Let's go! Onward! A malefic ether yet permeates the crater. Remnants of Zodiark, most like. It's so romantic. Just a little further. The structure is enormous. though that is hardly surprising given the size of the average Amarotine. Stop yawning. Ah! Apologies for the wait. Right then, let us head inside and... Oh! Dog. Most intriguing. A means by which he conserveth energy, mayhap? Well, I certainly wouldn't want him to blink out of existence on our account, helpful as he's been. Stay here where it's safe, alright? If Argos is to remain without, let us not keep him waiting over long. I'm yawning so much I'm not even that tired though. Maybe I'm just lacking oxygen. I think I'll do that if it doesn't stop soon.
Our moonship pilot should be around here somewhere. Is that right?
They're so cute! Just some little guys.
Look lively, everyone! I know, this 1243rd inspection is a mite ahead of schedule, but it is of the utmost importance, for Zodiac, alas, is no more. As of now, our mighty moon has a new purpose, to bear the people of Etheris to safety! Our time has come, my friends! We must be swifter than swift. There is much to do before our guests arrive. I expect your workstations to be immaculate, and don't forget to relay our signal to Etheris. Questions? Yes? No? Maybe so? No? Then hop to it!
They look like they'd be so soft.
"'Tis a rather curious crew she hath chosen. Their endearing forms intended to ease the passengers' hearts, perhaps."
Perhaps.
They must be the Lopperids mentioned in the Watcher's records. Not at all what I expected, but the Watcher did bid us heed their counsel. I assume the one who gave that rousing speech was their leader, though we might have to ask about... in order to track them down. Come on then, let us be about it. The leader of the crew? Not me, I'm afraid. Singing Way's the name. I'm in charge of the construction and maintenance of the atmospheric circulation system. Only the crispest, cleanest air for the people of Aetheris, and that's a promise. Leader? No. Sleeping Way. My job is... Perhaps I'd better ask. They're so cute. What? How in the... When did you get here? Who let you in? Why wasn't I told? I'm gonna... Were you the one giving orders earlier? Me? Oh, yes, of course. As the only one around here capable of doing anything properly, it falls to me to take charge of the others. Well, looks like you beat us there. Your friends, I take it? Is this all of them? A group comprised entirely of children? What must their parents be thinking? This isn't a nursery after all, though perhaps we should build one. Or did we build one already? No matter. You needn't worry your pretty little heads. All will be well, I promise. But goodness me, we shouldn't be standing about gawping. I must take you to meet the others. Look at the tail! Look at the tail! If you could run along back towards the entrance, you'll find a path that leads to the central platform on the upper floor. There's no wrong way to reach it, but it's the large glowing ball at the center if you should find yourselves lost. I shall gather the others and meet you there. Stop. Well then, back to the upper floor it is.
Right, of course. Introductions are in order. Ahem. My name is Livingway, and we are the Loporits, created for the express purpose of commanding this ship and bearing the people of Atheris to a brave new world. More specifically, I am the one whom she charged with the execution of her most vital plans. You might say I'm her right paw. Livingway's the name, map reader and navigator of the heavens.
Pleasure to meet you all, but I'm still trying to make sense of this.
Confusion and bewilderment are completely understandable. Fear not, I shall walk you through it. The people of Atheris, through no fault of your own, I'm sure, set in motion a series of events that, unfortunately, culminated in Zodiac's obliteration. Acutely aware of the imminent crisis, your parents sent you little ones on ahead while they began the necessary preparations. Still not following? No? Very well, I shall elaborate further. Here, we have Atheris, your home, and the moon, where we are now. Without Zodiac around to keep things lively, so to speak, the celestial currents of the star have doubtless begun to degrade. A calamity of apocalyptic proportions will be visited upon Atheris, bringing an end to all life. Very sad, that.
So too hath the Watcher claimed. By thine unperturbed countenance, I gather this eventuality was anticipated.
The doom and gloom. Oh yes, quite expected. Imagine, if you will, that Atheris is a delicious carrot that I've forgotten to eat and left out in the midday sun. The most earnest wishes or prayers will not stop it from rotting to the core. So sadly, there's nothing to be done but to abandon said carrot, Atheris, in case the metaphor is lost on you, to its grisly fate.
And this moon will serve as the vessel to deliver us to a new home.
Just so! We will gather up as many people, supplies, and resources as our stores will hold. And then, once everyone is aboard, it's off to another star! Easier said than done, admittedly, for one does not simply hop from star to star on a whim, which is precisely why we've spent countless years constructing the most propulsive of propulsion systems! We ought to make it to our destination in 2 shakes of a rabbit's tail.
Impressive technology. I dare say it is beyond anything we have ever seen.
No need to shower us with praise. All we've done is faithfully carry out the instructions left to us by Hydaelyn. Back in the old days, when she was still just Venar, she was dedicated to the study of the world and its inner workings. And the Watcher, the real one, not the simulacrum you met, was one of her fellow researchers. We and this wondrous vessel masquerading as a moon are products of their knowledge and know-how.
There's certainly more to you all than meets the eye. Might I ask where exactly you intend to take us?
We identified a few promising candidates for resettlement some time ago, but we cannot guarantee that they are fit for habitation. Moreover, the ship can only travel in short bursts. We intend to go down our list, hopping from star to star, until we find one suitable for resettlement. No need to worry, though. The vessel is being refurbished with accommodation for an extended stay as we speak. While we did have to rely upon outside help to determine what amenities were essential, I dare say we have risen to the challenge.
Help? From who?
From you and yours! Who else? Each time we woke to perform regularly scheduled maintenance, we were greeted by the resources you sent us. What better way to learn about preferences and proclivities of our present-day charges? Ah, but you're still adorable little children. Perhaps your elders were responsible for the deliveries.
I'm not sure what led you to conclude otherwise, but I can assure you that we are all grown men and women. And I very much doubt my elders know this place exists, much less how to send you so much as a starlight missive.
What? Then who in blazes let you on my moon? Heidelin herself led you here. You don't say! Well, that's really not children. Then why are you so small and stunted? Like little baby carrot people.
Well, Amarotines were a great deal taller. In the present day, persons of such prodigious size are exceedingly rare.
So, you're saying everyone's not like the Watcher? Oh, confound it all! Someone could have at least scribbled a note about your profound miniaturization.
That tome in thy possession.
Oh, this? One of the first books sent to us. A compendium of the people of Aetheris, with a few blank pages at the back for minor corrections and updates as needed. The sum total of our knowledge of your kind is contained in these pages. I thought it was abridged and made small for our benefit, but this isn't a regular-sized book, is it? Building Way, can you hear me? Yes, we're all very busy. Change of plans. I need you to rebuild the domiciles at 1/3 the scale. All of them. Yes, all of them, and but me no buts. See to it with all speed.
Perhaps you could tell us a bit more about your terrestrial collaborators.
Yes, in due time. But first, I'd like to hear more about you, if it's all the same. I'd rather not risk any other complications due to outdated knowledge of our passengers-to-be.
Who do you think is sending them stuff? Oh, Charlene's. Interesting theory. Right then, now that you're here, we need you to teach us all you can about your people, and quickly! That's okay, no worries. It won't be long before the final days are upon us in all their terrible grandeur, so it is imperative that we be prepared to receive our passengers-to-be. If there is anything at all that may displease them, it must be addressed post-haste. And address it we shall. Here at Bestway's Burrow, we have assembled everything required to offer our guests the best way forward. We have produced myriad amenities we understand to be essential for day-to-day living, and I wish to hear your opinions on them. I'm sure you've all worked up an appetite, so why don't we start with foodstuffs? Meet me at the Caratorium, and we will see about filling your bellies. She does not want for enthusiasm. The notion of Atheris rotting to its core being a matter of course is rather concerning, though. Nevertheless, let us take this opportunity to learn more of the Loporrits and this vessel. Vessel. I'm beginning to wonder more and more whether I was just playing this game in a daze, because this is like the 4th time that someone has said like, oh yeah, it was probably the Sharlayans, when I had no clue on who could be sending them stuff. I was like, whoa, that's weird, crazy. Wonder who did that. Welcome to the Caratorium. Here we create prototypes of the various sundries required by our soon-to-be passengers. Allow me to introduce the head of Foodstuffs production. Yeah, it's just built into me. Cooking Way. Pleasure to meet you all. Our work has involved no small amount of trial and error, but after many cycles of painstaking labor, I dare say we have created the finest cuisine our guests could ask for. I've learned all about the essential nutrients for a healthy and balanced diet from the reference materials we received. Why, I've practically worn the words from those invaluable pages. Naturally, we've also considered ease of growth and production. We will not want for ingredients. I must insist you try some. We have fresh stock recently prepared on account of, well, because we just woke up and we're all quite famished. Hop along the platforms here and you'll find the storage unit full to bursting with delectable delights. Help yourself to anything you like. Boing, 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 boing. Blasting Way. You open the storage unit and find a rainbow-colored assortment of carrots. Let's do the ominous crimson carrot. The soft texture and redolent aroma of this crimson creation belie its staggering weight. The excessive length and girth can only compound the mystery, leaving you perplexed as to the nature of this carrot. What? I don't know about this. On second thought, you elect to simply take an obscenely large carrot for now. Due to its bizarre qualities, it would be prudent to ask Cooking Way whether it is safe to eat first. Don't look at me. I didn't know it was gonna say that. I was like, oh yeah, I ate the blue carrot the first time around, let's go for red. So, did any of our selections set your mouth to watering? Ah yes, a fine choice. One of my personal favorite, actually. Do it, pussy, you won't. Please, dig in. I'm eager to hear what you think. With great trepidation, you take a bite out of the carrot. The carrot is oddly tender, but as you begin to chew, a rich aroma fills your nostrils. A newfound vigor begins welling within you. The rumbling of your stomach, however, suggests it may simply be indigestion. Iron carrot. What did you think? Unlike anything you've ever tasted, yes? The iron carrot can be a bit difficult to digest, but the boost to endurance it promises makes it a perfect meal before a day of heavy lifting. We have plenty of other varieties too. Bleeding carrots to improve blood flow, dream carrots to help with sleep. So you see, we have a carrot for every occasion. I can certainly see the demand for this in Charlian. Oh my god. Charlian? What in the blazes is that? I take it you two had a wide assortment of carrots to choose from and naught else. If I may ask, what exactly did these collaborators share with you about cuisine on Aetheris? Surely you are aware we have an abundance of dishes and foods you could emulate. Of course we are, but, well, it was only quite recently that we established contact. Even holding a conversation was a struggle at first, so imagine our surprise when they sent a mountain of books and documents with no clear instructions. The sheer amount of information was overwhelming. If it wasn't for that encyclopedia I found, we would have been at a loss where to begin. And so we decided, rather than divide our resources to prepare a variety of middling and potentially unsatisfying meals, it would be more efficient to devote our efforts to the production of a single perfect food. That's all well and good, but man cannot live on raw carrots alone. I know. It's so funny. Have you considered cooking them? You mean steaming, boiling, roasting, and the like? I suppose we could prepare the carrots in other ways. But our primary concern was efficiency, and what's more efficient than sinking your teeth into a carrot fresh from production? A rather strange approach to take for one named Cooking Way, isn't it? Well, technically speaking, Cooking Way isn't my given name. When first created, we were all named in the old tongue. You know, that otherwise impenetrable parlance the Watcher speaks. After we received a great tome of words, a dictionary that is, from our collaborators, we learned your language. Adverbs, gerunds, present continuous verb conjugations, just the basics. Then we found the terms related to our given tasks and used them to form new names. Aren't they helpful? No, not really, but it does explain a great deal. Wherefore didst thy kind deem such a change necessary? When the rest of your people arrive, we want to be certain they understand immediately what each of us does. You'd never be able to pronounce our original names anyway. I see. I hope our critiques, such as they were helpful to you. Though if you should decide to preserve flora and fauna from Aetheris as well, you would be able to offer the passengers a more balanced diet. Until such a day, when I pray comes sooner than later, it would appear that there is naught but carrots on the menu. I think we've had our fill of carrots for now. Let's move on to other necessities, shall we? Our clothing production is sure to impress. This way! I love the music here though. It's so nice and peaceful. Here we are, the apparel production station. We've chosen to employ more traditional methods for this task, creation magics. Heidelin, in her infinite wisdom, blessed us with the selfsame affinity for magic her people possessed. We have other amazing talents, of course, and I know you're dying to hear about them, but I will regale you with the details another time. That said, we did run into a spot of trouble at first. Our magic alone was not sufficient to see our work done. In the end, we discovered crystallized ether was a wonderful catalyst that could provide us with the extra viz we need. The V's? The vim and vigor? My, how resourceful. Ah, the sweet sound of recognition. You will also be impressed to hear that we've read all about your habit of changing attire to match your chosen profession. For the sake of efficiency, I presume. This has also been taken into account with our designs. But why take my word for it when you can simply try on our clothes? Make yourselves known to the workers and they will see to the rest. Hello. Ah, it's you, one of the visitors from Matheris. Goodness me, Mappingway wasn't kidding. You really are smaller than the Watcher. Oh right, you're here to try on a set of clothes, yes? What would you have me fashion for you today? A fashionable and refined ensemble. Fashionable, right. Ahem, this will only take a moment. Oh boy. There we are, all finished. A perfect fit, if I do say so myself. I'll be honest, I know nothing of fashion, let alone fashion on Atheris. But I'd wager no one down there has ever worn anything like this fine ensemble. Perhaps you can start a new trend. Yeah, mask and robes. Would you look at that? Speechless. And there I thought you might not like it. If you've a mind to try something else, why not speak with my fellow artisans? I'm sure they'd be happy to oblige. You must continue to wear these garments in order to progress. No. Yoshi P said, "You look stupid now." Ah, no one said you'd be coming. How can I help you? You wish to try my clothes? Really? Of course, it would be my honor. Did you have anything in mind? I'm looking for clothes with an altogether different design. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that reminds me of something though, like, how fucking funny is it to imagine, the body swap scene with someone who was dressed that way, like Xenos just kind of like wibbling, wobbling, his way over in those huge heels. Poor Xenos, man. I feel bad for him, if that's the case. He's just like, oh, why do I feel so powerful all of a sudden? I shouldn't think about this too much. I think I can handle that. Let's see. This should do. Some of my best work yet. You're a strange one, aren't you? I honestly wasn't sure what to do when you didn't ask for anything specific. I take my work seriously, however, and I am never one to disappoint. That ensemble is a blend of concepts from myriad professions. All-purpose attire for the modern woman of Aetheris. I was worried how the concept would turn out when put to the proof, but it looks stunning on you. Won't you go and show Living Way? I'm sure she's eager to see what we've come up with. You must continue to wear these garments in order to progress. Okay. Yeah, Doishe would look good even in a potato sack, aka this. My, don't we look splendid? The result of much trial and error, but I know quality work when I see it. Shh, you needn't speak. I can see your adoration for the moon and we loporits in your eyes. No doubt your friends feel the same, having sampled our creations. Oh boy. Sorry to have kept you waiting. They insist that we sample all of their concepts ere we return. Verily, 'tis an ensemble most becoming. Oh, he likes it! ... I think it's past time we return these clothes. His gay little robe. I was so confident our garments would meet with your approval. Whatever are we doing wrong? The Watcher taught us that, in his time, everyone wore the same robes. To do otherwise was against social etiquette. We thought we could appeal to modern tastes by tailoring the robes to specific professions, but... Please, you mustn't be so hard on yourself. Should we resort to evacuating the people of Aetheris, they will most certainly have need of your attire. 'Tis clear you spared no effort in addressing our needs, but you must understand that we are not quite so homogeneous. Speaking for myself, what I wear now better suits my tastes, even if it is of inferior make. But there are others whose choices you may be influenced by traditions or personal experience. Rather than make assumptions for the whole, you must consider the individual and their potential preference. I fear we've underestimated the complexity and diversity of your people. Even if we'd memorized every tome we received, I doubt we'd have fared much better. Maybe we're doing you a disservice trying to shower you with our baubles and frippery, thinking it was for your benefit when you'd be better off on your own. There are some who might agree. People will prefer to keep others at arm's length, even when they know they shouldn't. As one such former fool, I'd like to ask you a question. This plan to evacuate and escape the final days, did it account for the reflections of the source as well? Not that I'm aware of. We were born of Hydaelyn's love for Aetheris, and the salvation of the people on that star, and that star alone, has ever been our aim. Surely it is better to devote ourselves to saving one world, rather than to divide our efforts across 14 and risk failing them all. I suppose you're right. Living Way, might we have leave to explore Bestway Barrows unattended? You have given us much to think about. Why, certainly. Until later, then. If I may, I should like to accompany thee a while longer. Really? I mean, you're more than welcome to. There was actually something I wished to speak with you about. Let's be off then, shall we? Bye. What are you looking at? Little buddy. Ah, my apologies. I wasn't trying to spy or anything. Everyone's been talking about the visitors come from Aetheris, and I wanted to see what all the fuss was about. I was excited at first, but now I'm worried. What if the people of Aetheris refuse to come? But what if you can't save them? Ah, it's clear we've made a mess of things. Oh, but wait! You still haven't visited the domiciles. Once you see them, you'll understand how wonderful the moon truly is. I'm sure of it. I'll be waiting for you by the teleporter near the entrance. Oh, and the name's Growing Way, by the way. See you soon. Growing Way. I think Growing Way is voiced by the same person who voices Grahatia. And, you know, I always love it when you can hear that a side character is being voiced by one of the Scions. Because, you know, they're in the studio anyway, so why not have them just voice random NPC number 2? And it's always like, oh man, I didn't know you could make your voice that high, sir. You're here. You're really here. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sorry, what should I call you? Dwashe Mumafo, eh? Crikey, even your names are amazing. Well, Dwashe, we'll be using this teleporter to enter the residential area. Whenever you're ready.
Ready in the teleporter. Huh? Access to living quarters restricted due to reconstruction. Then where is it? Oh no!
Where am I going?
A private audience, as thou didst request, for reasons I know not.
Just a precaution. I'd rather I didn't have to ask the question at all, but I take my responsibilities very, very seriously. Do you and your friends, by any chance, find our accommodation wanting? Be honest, brutally even.
'Twould be ungracious of me to belittle the efforts of thee and thine.
Lovely sentiment, really. But the disappointment is writ plain on your comrades' faces. It's all the more frustrating since no one will come out and say what they find wanting. If there are faults in our work, we need to know. We will do better. But time is not on our side. The final days will wait for no one. If your people are to be saved, we must take quick and decisive action. This vessel must serve as a home for as many passengers as possible, for far longer than we may like. Which brings me to my request. Our collaborators on Atheris are doing what they can to prepare for the voyage. Would you be willing to go and lend them a hand? Having seen the moon for yourself, you could speak to its many splendors, learn what else they might require, and assuage whatever concerns they have.
Wherefore wouldst thou entrust me with such a task?
How to put it? You're the only one who appears not to be wholly unsatisfied with our work. Or quite good at pretending that's the case, at least. Calm, collected, tactful to a fault. Very particular with your words, too. You understand that, in the face of great danger, one cannot pursue perfection at the expense of practicality. The difficult choices must often be made for the greater good.
And so fate doth conspire to set my feet upon this path once more.
Come again?
Idle musings. 'Tis no trifle thou dost ask, yet full well do I understand the urgency and necessity.
Oh, dear me! Dear me! I was terribly sorry for the mix-up. It's a bit of a malfunction. I hadn't realized the residential quarters were inaccessible, you see. But you're still in one piece. So, all's well that ends well, yes? Won't happen again. I promise.
Oh man. Poor Urianger, he keeps getting dragged into this shit. And he doesn't want it. He's 3 for 3, baby. Gosh, that was embarrassing. I promise to be more careful from now on. Since the residential quarters are closed for now, I've rerouted the teleporter to allow travel between floors instead. Hopefully it proves useful in the meantime. Oh, shame you couldn't see it though. You really would have liked it. It may not seem like it, but we've been planning this far longer than I'd care to admit. Each time we woke up, we'd have long discussions on how to save as many of you as we can. Felt like everyone had an opinion on this or that. But the one thing we all agreed upon was that the people of Atheris wouldn't take action to save themselves until it was far too late. That's why we're striving to make the moon a vibrant, magical place they'd hop at a chance to visit, rather than waiting for the flames of oblivion to get them off their tails and force them to accept our invitation. The residential quarters may not be up to the necessary standards just yet, but there are plenty of other places worth seeing. You've already had a look around the Curatorium, but wait until you see what's waiting for you at the east end of the borough. Follow me! Well, you know, you should actually be happy that the people are smaller than you expected, because now you have more space for people. And more food. Good, you're here. Through this door is the Great Ends Vale. It was named as such because it's the veil to end all veils, the most beautiful forest you'll ever see. We understand the people of Aetheris enjoy taking leisurely walks through natural spaces and the like, so I'm sure you'll enjoy it. How about we start with a nice stroll to the fountain? This way. You know, it is pretty. Not exactly nature, but it's pretty. Yeah. Oh, happy Pride Month! The Loporets say happy Pride Month. So, what did you think of the forest? Isn't it positively pleasant? Oh, I think I skipped something. I didn't see any... Wait, you don't mean those crystals out there are... Right, you are. Our forest is made of crystals and constructs, dotting the landscape as far as the eye can see. Building this place was a challenge, let me tell you. Since we were born here, we've never seen trees in person before, let alone a forest. The information sent by our collaborators was quite enlightening, but after much deliberations, we decided to use crystalline constructs in place of living trees. And thanks to our atmospheric circulation system, this place produces air as clean as that you can find in a forest on Aetheris. The fountain here behind us, powered by the rather large crystal adorning its top, plays a vital role in supplying us with fresh water. Much time and effort was spent making it the most spherical of spheres, and I dare say the unparalleled roundness speaks for itself. I enjoyed nothing more than a nice long stretch and a spot of relaxation when I come up here. Looks like you could do with a stretch yourself. Oh, everybody stretch. I'm going to do a stretch. Dwasha is going to do a stretch. And you are going to do a stretch. That's the spirit. I feel more relaxed simply watching you. A sight worth the many years spent building this place. If it's not too much to ask, it's always been a dream of mine to take a walk through this forest with someone from Aetheris. Could we maybe? Okay. You will? Oh, be still, my quivering whiskers. Okay, let's go Gronway. I was thinking, Dwasha, that I could be more helpful to you by teaching you a little about the moon and what it is we do. When we were first created, the moon's sole purpose was to hold Zodiark, and there was absolutely nothing to be found here. Eventually, Heidelin gave us our first task: furnish the moon with propulsion systems capable of facilitating travel to other stars. It sounds impressive, and I suppose it is in some respects it is, but it was only possible thanks to all the knowledge Heidelin shared with us. We also had a lot of time to get it done. 6,000 years, give or take. But anyway, let's keep going. This may come as a surprise, but we didn't begin building the habitable areas until after the propulsion systems were ready. Considering how long it took, I wish we'd started sooner. Who would have thought we'd need 4,000 years to make all this? Certainly wasn't work you dare rush either. We had to create infrastructure and countless supporting systems, some of which wouldn't be operational until hundreds of years later. And then there was that brief period where our productivity came to a screeching halt, when that bizarre red satellite was sent up from Atheris. The Allegan's mischief, I think. We thought maybe some new nefarious actor was colluding with Zodiark. All we could do was stand by and brace ourselves for the worst. I can't tell you how relieved we were when Heidelin informed us of its destruction. Oh yes, there was much joyous humming that day. Yeah, about that. Say, do you notice anything particular around the treetops? I mean, apart from the fact they're massive crystals and not trees. I'll give you a hint. It's golden rings emanating from the glowing spheres. Along with the device fixed near the ceiling, they fulfill a role similar to our sun, and do so better even. The sun and similar celestial objects have in the great expanse radiate energy that is harmful to your bodies. These rings shield you from that energy while allowing you to bathe in the perfect amount of sunlight, or rather a close approximation of it. Pretty impressive, wouldn't you say? Oh, and if you look closely, you'll see different types of trees have ever so slightly different curvatures. Yes indeed, this forest truly is the greatest. It's not too shabby, I'll give you that. There was something else I wanted to tell you about. Oh, right. The propulsion system and habitat facilities were completed around 2,000 years ago, and with that, the most important features were fit for purpose. Which was all well and good, except we still knew absolutely nothing about the present-day people of Atheris. Why not go and visit Atheris yourself, you might ask? Strictly forbidden. Were our technology or knowledge of the moon's true purpose exploited by evil ends, the results could be disastrous. Then there were a few more rejoinings, and it became increasingly difficult to converse with Heidelin. Fearful we might lose the ability to communicate with her altogether, we beseeched her to find people on Atheris we could trust to help. We were quite fortunate everything worked out as it did. This part of the story is a little bit slower, but I don't mind it. I think after all the craziness after Zodiark, we need a bit of a breather. Yeah, I'm enjoying it too. With the exception of routine inspections and maintenance, we remained asleep and waited, hopeful Heidelin would find someone who would help us. Eventually she did, and though her power was waning, we were able to speak to them directly for a short while. #pride. I love it. We shared with them everything we could, including our knowledge of the heavens and a means to travel here to the moon. They certainly didn't waste any time with what we taught them. No more than a few years after that, our collaborators found a means to convey messages and supplies to us from down below. With all the letters, books, and other resources they sent, we learned enough to start making more meaningful changes to the moon. And now you're here, hopefully enjoying yourself as much as I am. I knew you would like the greatest Endvale. I knew it! Thank you again for coming here, by the way. I know it was just a walk through the forest, but it meant a lot to me. There you are. I take it you've already received the grand tour? Ashamed we missed it. Growing Way, I've been looking all over for you. Oh, is this about the teleporter to the residential area? No, never mind that. We have more pressing matters at hand. I will be calling an emergency meeting shortly, and your attendance is required. Really? I can't imagine why you'd need me there, but if you insist. We won't be away long, so you are all more than welcome to continue looking around about the burrow. Now, come along, Growing Way. Before we arrived, you seemed to be in the midst of a rousing conversation with your guide. Did you learn anything of import? They spent 12,000 years preparing for this? With the appointed hour fast approaching, I can certainly understand their restlessness, but still. It remains to be seen if the people can be persuaded to evacuate when there are yet no signs of the final days. What's more, the technology of this place defies imagination. I doubt there are many who would readily come to terms with living in such surroundings. Whoever these collaborators are, unless they are possessed of the world's most charming personalities or a means to forcibly evacuate people, they will meet with a great deal of resistance. Indeed, even if faced with annihilation, the decision to forsake all one knows cannot be made lightly. Forgive me, friends, but I must beg your leave. There is another matter which yet begs for mine attention. Of course, we can accompany you if you like. Nay, that will not be necessary. If you will excuse me. Tis clear now that difficult decisions lie ahead of us. Preparation for the evacuation of Atheris is indeed crucial, but I am not yet willing to forsake our world and its reflections, and I trust that I am not alone in my reticence. You know it. Did Urianger seem strange to you? More so than usual, I mean. I know he has a penchant for keeping his own counsel, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried. Would you go and see if he's alright? Y'shtola and I will remain here and see what else we can learn about the final days. If you hurry, perhaps you can catch up to him. Whee! Urianger, it's Pride Month. You wouldn't betray your friend during Pride Month, would you? That seems a little homophobic. I was trying to make a pun with like friend, homie, homophobic. Arianje appears to be heading towards the entrance to Bestway Burrow. Arianje ventures off into Mare Lamentorum for reasons unknown. You must tread carefully, else he might sense your presence. Follow Arianje from a safe distance. The objective will end in failure if you are noticed, or if you fall too far behind. Blah blah blah. Okay. I have to sneeze.
Phew. Phew.
Ah! Thank you. Ariane Jizzle was getting roped into things. What are you doing, sir? No one's there. Bless this mess. Run, run, run. I'm like a raptor coming after you. Once I get to you, I'm gonna bite your head. I've been watching Prehistoric Planet, can you tell? The dinosaur special interest coming back with a vengeance. Yay, thank you! Oh man, I love this cutscene.
Thine arrival is timely as ever. Thou didst chance to overhear my conversation with Livingway, I presume? 'Twas not mine intent to move in shadow. Nevertheless, I have been asked to do that and more yet again. Is it so plain that these strangers could intuit it at a glance? My capacity for silence and secrecy and duplicity? When Grahatir did contrive to deliver the first at the price of his own life, I was complicit in the scheme. A sacrifice averted for a mercy. Would that I could say the same for Menphilia. One life for one world. And by that bloody bargain brokered by my hand were the scions robbed of a dear comrade, and Flamine her beloved daughter. Two souls whose selflessness was beyond measure, whose resolve was unshakable. They would not be moved even had I thought to protest. But protest I did not. Far from it. I pushed them forward. No effort did I make to seek out alternatives, ones that would not demand such terrible costs. That resignation weigheth heavy on my mind, as does the memory of another lost to mine inaction. Dearest Moonbringer, who did face death unflinching, that we might secure a means to bring low the Ascians. In her hour of need, I did naught. Dutiful disciple of Louisoix, ever looking to the greater good. Had I shut mine eyes and bid her live instead, mayhap she would be with us today. Selfish wants, born of everlasting regrets. Most days I put them from my mind, but could think of naught else when asked to swallow the same bitter draught. Subterfuge and sacrifice. Mayhap the right moral choice, but one I regard with great trepidation. The calamity of Amarot was a tragedy beyond reckoning, one which must never again come to pass. Thus must we struggle, haunted by ghosts of those we have lost, clinging to those we pray we can yet save. But what of those we cannot? How do we make peace with the dreadful algebra of necessity?
I didn't think there was a choice coming up right here. I have my mouth full of popcorn. Oh man. Yeah, Oriange just feels so guilty over shit that he did or like didn't do. Have faith in yourself and your decisions. Take heart and protect well those you can. I love you, man. I love them both.
Sage counsel indeed. I see. Wisdom as befits a great worm. Curious that he should think thee in need of such encouragement. Strange. Scarcely can I remember when last we spoke alone, and so candidly. I thank thee. For all my supposed skill with words, I find it difficult to express such private thoughts. As for the Loporrit's proposition, I will take time and consider how to respond. 'Twould be to our mutual benefit if we could converse more openly with our aspiring caretakers. A concern I should be glad to address on the Scion's behalf. To dispense with all pretense and bare one's heart to another is a frightening thing indeed. But we cannot move forward ere we take that bold first step. A lesson I have learned many times before. And today.
I love you, man.
What are they saying? Curse these ears! I've heard bugger all!
You're such little
No matter.
creatures.
We've got our plans.
In truth, my reason for traveling hither was to effect a plan of mine own, a plan which may pave a way forward for us all. May, I say, for there is no guarantee of success. 'Tis the reason I set out alone. That failure, should it come, should be mine to bear alone. Yet thou standest before me with proffered hand and an open heart. 'Twould be remiss of me to refuse thy amity, and so I ask, wouldst thou join in mine endeavor? Of course. That's what friends are for. I thank thee for accompanying me. 'Tis a simple plan, in truth. We shall not be long away from Bestway's burrow. Difficult decision must needs be made in the coming days, but I nevertheless believe we are all of one mind in our desire to save the people of Atheris. To make clear our resolve to the Loporrids, I would offer them a gift, but its making doth require a most singular ingredient. I just remembered what comes after this. Oh boy. Eye of the Storm, baby. An abundance of sponjoy. Excellent. I chanced to spy this aggregation when crossing Zodiark's erstwhile prison. Using a spell taught to me by the Numo, I believe these shall suffice for the gifts I would fashion. The magic requireth considerable concentration, however. Might it prevail upon thee to stand watch whilst I perform the incantation? Looks like I'll need my Chucky ball. What the hell? That enemy just killed the other enemy. Do it again. I've never seen that before. Come on now. I'm done with fighting. I don't want to do it anymore. Yeah, look at that! It did it again! What? Crazy. I've never seen any enemies do that before. This one did it too! Surveying the nearby area, you see no sign of potential threats. This would be a good opportunity to see how Urianger is faring. Yeah. It's crazy out here. Urianger remains fixated on his work. There, 'tis done. A magicked ink, every one's as efficacious as that crafted by a Numo. Rare is the occasion I would conjure mine own, but is nevertheless a most useful scale. The resulting product is, admittedly, possessed of no preternatural properties, but its hue is one of mine own choosing, which I pray the Loporrids will appreciate. Tuashe or Yanje, oh thank goodness. I thought you had been eaten or had perhaps fallen into a crater. Yushtola has been looking all over for you, Tuashe. She says she needs to speak with you about something most urgent, dire even. She was also quite clear that she wishes to speak with Duashe alone, which means I'm afraid you must stay behind Urianje. But worry not, it just so happens we need your help with an errand, delivering a package from the Watcher's Palace to Bestway's Burrow. It's quite large and heavy, perhaps even too heavy for we poor Loporits, and we would be ever so grateful if you could lend us a hand. How about an extra pair of hands before I go and meet with your Stola? No, that won't be necessary. Uryanja's help should more than suffice. And I'm sure you don't want to risk getting on Yustola's bad side by keeping her waiting. She seems prickly. Now, off with you. Worry not, Tuashe, I shan't be long. Fibbing way. Lying way. I don't know any other words for lying. Deceiving way. Misleading way. Telling fibs. How dare you? Oh, Doshe, we thought you would be away for far longer. A dire emergency? I said no such thing. But as you're here, I could use your assistance with one small matter. Running Way, a companion of Growing Ways, apparently has much to tell us of the final days. The problem, however, is that he is determined to live up to his name, refusing to stay still long enough for us to hold a conversation. Is there anywhere he's likely to stop and rest? Or perhaps there's a way to slow him down? Well, what's the rush? I was thinking we should wait here, maybe enjoy a cold mug of carrot juice and... No? Well, if it's really that important... You can try using these balls of moose flesh. Not to be confused with the other thing. Huh? Running Way's other notable feature is his incessant chatter, so you'll have no trouble finding him in a crowd. And when you do, try lobbing your balls at them. Crude, but it proves effective. He was here in Greatest Endsville when last I saw him. Let us split up and find him. Okay, let's chuck our balls at a Loporrit. Is it you? Is it you? Who is it? Who's here? Who are you? There. Ah! Ow, that's smart. If it was meant to be a joke, it isn't funny. Get sniped, idiot. Yes, I'm running away. Do you mind explaining why you hit me in the face with your balls of moose flesh? I'm highly knowledgeable about the final days. Ha! That's the most ridiculous thing I've heard since I woke up. Who told you that joke? As if we've got time to look into the final days when there's so much to do before the great voyage. It's true that Heidelin did impart to us some knowledge of the event, but I know about as much as any Loperate around here. Less, probably. I don't know why anyone would think it's funny to go around telling people I'm an expert, but they'd better hope I don't get my paws on them. I wonder if they have toe beans. Sorry if I couldn't be of more help, but if there's nothing else, I have work to do. And I'm off. I would love it if they did. I could find neither hide nor hair of him. How did you fare? So, he knows no more than the others. Care to explain yourself, Growing Way? Oh, are you also fibbing Way? Well, you see, I misremembered. Yes, that's it. I misremembered. Terribly sorry about that. I love that little animation with their ears. It's so cute. I'm afraid I'm drawing a blank, though. Try as I might, I can't remember who I was thinking of. On an unrelated note, what of Urianger? I assume you spoke with him earlier, but did he say when he'll be returning? On his way to the Watcher's Palace with Living Way? Between Growing Way's sudden lapse of memory and our lack of other leads, maybe our time would be better spent lending Urianger a hand. What? Now hold on a moment. It's all coming back to me. Yes, I remember. The information you're looking for is in the archives. Yes, that's where you'll find all sorts of useful knowledge, including that pertaining to the final days. Uh-huh. Okay. Oh, what to do? I promised Living Way I would help, but... No, I promised I'd help, so that's what I'll do. The archives are on the second floor of the main plaza, the eastern wing. Follow me. Ooh, yawn. I suspect the Loperates are up to something, but if there's aught to be learned of the final days, I think it's best we play along. For now, at least. The archives are right through this door, but it seems to be locked. I guess we'll just have to go and find whoever has the key. Growing Way, enough. If you have naught else to tell us of the final days, you need only say so. We can ill afford to be wasting time here, as you well know. Did you yourselves not tell us we must act act quickly. Yes, we did, but the moon was to be a perfect paradise for the people of Atheris, and we're running out of time to make everything ready for their arrival. We hoped you'd see the wonders we have to offer, but you found nothing but faults and flaws in our work. Only one of you saw our potential, so the others must be kept here. Ah, so that's Living Way's game. Run us around in circles, and failing that, lock us away so we can't put the plan at risk. Everyone except Urianger. He understands what is at stake, what must be done. I fear you've misjudged us, Growing Way. Never have we decried the notion of using the moon as a means of escape. That said, my heart breaks at the thought of abandoning Atheris and her reflections to their doom. If there is a way to avert the final days, I wish to find it. We all do. We may fail, but our efforts would never be at the expense of your plans. But why would you take that risk? There's no room for ifs and maybes now. The people of Atheris will escape here to the moon. They'll be safe and we'll finally get to see all their happy, smiling faces. I'm sorry, but we can't let you leave. We just can't. Do what you must, but try not to hurt them. I'll be back in a moment. Don't do anything rash while I'm gone. If we dally, they'll overwhelm us with sheer numbers. I say we knock these ones out, split up, and make our way to the exit. I don't want to beat up Benoit. Agreed. Let us reconvene where Argos waits outside. I feel like blacking out my screen for this part. I don't want to hurt them. I'm just casting a sleep spell on them. It's okay. Sleep spell. They're just little guys. Okay, stop it. No more. I'm zoomed all the way out. Gotta go. Let me out. Let me out. My arm's so itchy. You're still there, help me. Good, you're here. We must hurry to the Watcher's Palace and find Urianger.
And what, pray tell, do we seek at the Watcher's Palace?
Oh, come off it, friend. You know full well why we're here. The time has come for you to return to Atheris and help your brethren prepare for their journey here and beyond.
Forgive me, Living Way, but I cannot in good conscience proceed with this plan.
Huh? But what about the final days? The death and the doom? Oh, we have to hurry before it's too late!
Your unflagging commitment to your duty is endearing, to say the least.
Oh, bugger!
Be at ease. They bear you no grudge, nor do I. How could we, having come to understand your purpose? For millennia, you and yours worked tirelessly towards the singular purpose of this heavenly vessel's construction. An arduous feat by any measure. It is clear you have spared no effort. Why, your very names are a testament to your dedication.
Our names? I'm not sure I understand what you're getting at.
Names are an expression of the self, a declaration of one's hopes and aspirations. Your use of contemporary, uncomplicated nomenclature doth ensure clarity of purpose. There can be no doubt that your love for the people of Aetheris is boundless and pure.
Yes! Yes! A most mellifluous phrasing! We Loperids were born of Heideland's love for Aetheris. That shining, shimmering blue jewel, brightest star in the sky, brimming with life and possibilities. For as long as I can remember, I've toiled in anticipation of the day when this vessel might be needed. All I've ever wanted was to meet those she cherished so dearly, to serve and serve well. That goes for all of us, don't you see? So help us help them. Lead them here where we can keep them safe. If there's anything wrong with what we've built, we'll fix it. We'll make it right.
Your works want not for repair. Yet there remaineth much for you to learn of men, and your own kin besides. Singing Way, thy name bespeaketh more than the simple marriage of rhythm and rhyme. The songs of Aetheris are beyond counting, and span the length and breadth of emotion. Maps are monuments to man's pioneering spirit and his devotion to charting the furthest reaches of our star. Many have devoted their lifetimes to exploratory pursuits, to venture unto the highest mountains and the deepest oceans in search of unknown frontiers. And thou, my friend, I do not think we've met.
My name is Puddingway.
I love that.
Puddingway? Yes, indeed. A name of deep and abiding significance, I'm sure, but one perhaps better communicated through delicious deeds than tasteless words. A judicious application of fey magics at a later juncture may be appropriate. And Living Way. 'Tis no easy feat to convey the significance of thy moniker. When I was a bookish boy, A dear friend of mine was fond of peppering me with questions as I read, to my occasional annoyance. One day, I posed to her a question of mine own. What does it mean to live? After much contemplation, she proffered this answer. The anticipation of a half-read story's conclusion. The hope today's mistake may serve as tomorrow's lesson. The wish that a new acquaintance may one day call thee friend. She believed it to be all these moments and more.
I want to understand, but...
I, too, still labor to find mine own answer. 'Twould be my pleasure to assist you and yours in embarking on a journey of self-discovery and enlightenment.
Bunny therapy
For thee.
group featuring Urianger.
Ink as blue as the waters of Aetheris. Made in haste, though I assure thee, the quality has not suffered for it. The people need not be persuaded by honeyed words. Nay, I have faith they shall do what is right in due course. Until they do, I beg your patience, friends. And with that ink, let us fill the empty pages of Living Way's compendium. An open exchange of ideas will surely afford you all a better understanding of modern man, and with it, ideas for improvements and renovations. But more importantly, it shall empower us to together find a way forward.
Yeah.
I hope you're right. Thank you for this lovely gift.
There you have it. I shall remain with the Loporrits to ensure that all is in order. Though we must needs prepare for every eventuality, you would all agree that the evacuation of our star is a last resort. To accept failure is to accept the demise not only of our star, but that of Reen's, of all reflections, and the souls that call them home. Which is why I have every faith that you shall fight to the last, that such drastic measures may prove unnecessary.
Should the worst come to the worst, and I pray deeply that it won't, I'll take comfort in knowing preparations were made under your watchful eye.
Aye, thou mayest be assured that if calamity cometh, not a soul will be left behind, if being the operative term.
Ooh. That flower, how came it unto your possession? How very like her. Guided by its light, you may come to know her true intentions. Intentions which remain a mystery even to us. Yeah. In our time, we called it Elpis. You would do well to remember the name.
I hate to interrupt, but I feel like I need to make amends for all the secrecy.
Think nothing of it. We haven't been the most gracious of guests. Do convey our apologies to Growingway and the others.
But of course! And when next we welcome more guests from Aetheris, we'll have learned to be much more hospitable hosts. Oh, and circling back to the matter of inappropriate secrecy, we ought to discuss our benefactors.
Agreed. The Charlayan Forum, yes?
You stole us smart too.
What? How did you know?
The more I heard, the more obvious it became. The Forum's aims align closely with those of your anonymous patrons. A telling coincidence would be an understatement. Though had we not taken it upon ourselves to peruse certain restricted tones in Labyrinthos, we might still be unaware of their plans. But let us continue this discussion upon our return. I dare say we have kept Alphino and the others waiting long enough.
Time to go home. Yeah, Elpis. 'Twas a relief to see Livingway was pleased with my gift of ink. To serve and serve well. Though their knowledge may be lacking, their boundless love is a blessing without peer. It will be no easy task to prepare them for what must needs be done, but gladly do I embrace this duty, even if it doth necessitate that we part ways for a time. Forgive me my absence, but I have the utmost faith in you, in all our fellow scions. When next I return to Aetheris, I pray I find you all in good health and good spirits. Alright. I do like that Urianger is getting some really good scenes this expansion. He deserves it. With the Lupperates in Urianger's capable hands, we needn't worry about affairs here in our absence. Knowing now the face of their earthly collaborators, there is much to discuss with Alphino and the others. Let us return to the Tower of Babel. Our battle for the star will soon begin in earnest, and we must be prepared. Me too. He's such a good character. Gods, I can scarcely believe we went to the moon and back. But we'll have time to reflect on that later. Right now, we need to head back to Camp Broken Glass and deliver a thoroughly detailed report to Lucia. I'd like very much to know how everyone is getting on here as well. They'd only just begun to treat the tempered prisoners when we left. I share your curiosity, but warning our allies of the final days is of greater importance. I speak not only of the contingent, of course. The heads of state of every nation must know what we have learned. We know not when or where or in what manner the final days will begin to manifest, and so we must see that everyone is prepared. Agreed. Though we may wish to stress the importance of discretion, lest the public be sent into a panic. Not that anyone in a position of responsibility should need to be told as much, but it bears repeating. Anyway, first things first, to Camp Broken Glass. I can't fly here. Yeah. I love that Urianger is just the perfect blend of ridiculous and heartbreaking. And I don't know if I've shared this fact before, but he doesn't talk the way he talks in English in Japanese. In Japanese, he just speaks normally. Yeah, I just... That's such a fantastic quirk to give a character, like, during translation. Yeah, it's awesome. I would like to kiss the person who came up with that with tongue. Figuratively. Yep. It's good to see you all again. No worse for your lunar adventures, I hope. We've done what we can for now, and believe me, we intend to tell you all about it. But before we do, might you tell us what's become of Garlemald in our absence? We succeeded in subduing the Tempered inside the Tower of Babel. We took many alive, but combined with those who were already in our custody, the number requiring care has grown exponentially. The inclement conditions here have made it difficult, if not impossible, to treat them all here, and so we have petitioned the aid of the allied nations. Some are understandably hesitant to proffer assistance, particularly those that were but recently subject to imperial occupation. That said, several others have agreed to grant them refuge for treatment. With the assistance of your fellow scions, we endeavor to see them safely transported and subsequently cured of their tempering. Will all the tempered be relocated? No, not all, no. We have sufficient shelter to attend to those whose treatment has begun, and enough healers have volunteered to remain until their patients have recovered. Jullus is one such patient, though he is not yet fit to receive visitors. Truth be told, it was a miracle he and those in his company were not harmed in the chaos. If not for Alphino and Alizé's timely assistance, I dare say none of them would be with us today. That's my children. In light of recent developments, have the Alliance leaders come to any decision regarding Garlemald? Given the tremendous ramifications of what has happened here, it will take time to determine what must be done. In the meantime, they intend to work with the Eastern Alliance to keep a close watch over the provinces. We have other news to share. Shortly after Anima was defeated, we received reports that each and every tower has vanished. For a mercy, the process was apparently not quite as violent as that you experienced in Thavnir. Those who were trapped within them have been rescued and are receiving treatment. To hasten this endeavor, the beast tribes have received instructions in the magics that needed to cure tempering. Master Matoya is no doubt thrilled the Mother Porxie affords her so many visitors. Yes, we are grateful for her ongoing efforts, as well as of those of our comrades near and far. As for the contingent, several of our members have been granted leave to return to their homelands after the transfer of Tempered has been completed. Lucia and I will remain, along with a small force to continue offering aid to those here in Garlemald. The Empire may be no more, but there are yet those who call these lands home. I believe that accounts for recent events here. So, what of the moon and the Telophoroi? The final days. Gods, I prayed your victory would mark the end of our troubles. There is still much we do not know, but the Alliance leaders must be told. Would you be willing to contact them in our stead? Yes, of course. I will send word forthwith. We'll also release your fellow scions from their present duties, that they may return to Sharlayan. Your energies are better spent finding a means to avert the coming apocalypse. Speaking of your fellow scions, you'll be happy to hear that Mr. Skral, though still on the mend, has been moved to the Baldessian Annex and given into Tataru's care. Thank you. I look forward to seeing them both upon our return. Let us be on our way, then. One last thing, if I may. After your confrontation with Zodiarch, you said Xenos took his leave, and in all likelihood he has returned here to Garlemald. I have a mind to dispatch scouts to try and ascertain his whereabouts, but first wish to ask you if you believe there is merit in doing so. If they found him, they would not likely live to tell the tale. I suppose you're right. To dispatch good soldiers in pursuits of such a beast would be to send them to their deaths. Pray forget I entertained the notion. While on the subject of Xenos, the 10th Legion has made an official proclamation. They denounce the Crown Prince and condemn his role in the Empire's downfall. His very title has become a source of shame among his former subjects, and its continued use serves only to hinder relations with foreign nations. For this reason, he has been declared as Xenos Viator Galvus, outcast and enemy of Garlemald. Van Daniel is no more, and now his own people turn against him. It seems he has not but his own bloodlust to keep him company. Better that than an army to see it sated. At any rate, I will not keep you longer. I pray your safe passage back to Sharlayan. Went from everything to nothing, dude. Let's go back to Sharlayan. Hello! Welcome back to Ashe. We were so terribly worried about you. Though it is plain I have caused my own fair share of worries, and for that I apologize. Heidelin called to me that day when you entered the Tower of Babel. Her pleas were faint but desperate, and I knew at once she required a vessel to carry out her will. What came after feels like a dream barely remembered, my body flowing through the life stream towards Garlemald. When I regained consciousness, I was all aches and frostbite, exhausted of ether. So exhausted, in fact, I could only laugh, for it was in that moment I understood Raha's weariness from the Tower of Zot. Would that I could laugh at a time like this. Though we prevented Zodiarch from being unleashed upon the world, I am curious to know what else took place there on the moon. Perhaps we should wait for the others to join us before you give your account. Let us reconvene in the main hall once they've arrived. You know, I have a lot of thoughts on Xenos' role in this expansion, but I'm gonna give those at the end, I think, just to get the full scope of the things. I like him. He does terrible things, and I'm not gonna, like, be an apologist for it, but it just so perfectly illustrates, like, people are the product of their environment. It's like the same way I feel about Yotsuyu. Like, if anyone had been kind to her in her life, maybe she would not have turned out the way that she did. Sorry to have kept you all waiting. Yeah, so, it's exactly the way I feel. You know, like Emmett Selk, Xenos, Yotsuyu, even like Ilberd. And probably a lot more characters that I can't think of right now. Not at all. We understand you've been quite busy. Will Urianger be joining us? No. Duty keeps him away, I'm afraid, though Dwashe can explain why better than I. Thanks, Thancred. The final days, as befell Amarat. And we are to escape via the moon? What of the source and its reflections? I've no intention of standing by while the world falls to ruin. So, how do we stop this? Unfortunately, we have no answers at present. If the celestial currents have grown stagnant, as was the cause in the time of Amarat, the solution would be to alter the flow of ether throughout the entirety of the star. The ancients accomplished this by summoning Zodiark, sacrificing half the star's population in the doing. But it should go without saying that such a sacrifice must not, cannot be repeated. Which leaves us with the daunting task of identifying the underlying catalyst for the final days, a feat which even the Amaratines could not accomplish. Unfortunately, we found no clues in Mare Lamentorum. There is still much we do not know about the catastrophe itself, let alone what may have caused it. The final days were marked by the corruption of the Amaratines' creation magics, but we command no such power, which invites the question, what havoc is in store for us? If we knew that much, perhaps we could draw some parallels with the events of the past, and thereby form some semblance of a plan. Perhaps we should start with the Forum, then. Having worked with the Loperids in secret all this time, there is surely more they can tell us. Forgive the interruption, but I've urgent news. The Forum is holding a public assembly in the plaza outside. Some sort of announcement. What is Father up to now? There's only one way to find out. I'm gonna beat your ass in front of your kids. Fucking hate Fortunal. Fuck you. Shitty father figure characters just set me off. Absolutely.
Order! Order, I say! I thank you all for gathering here on such short notice. This day we must speak of grave affairs and their implications for the future of Sharlayan, nay, of this very star. Said affairs concern all citizens, and so we have called for a public assembly. You may have heard rumors of the Talopheroi and the havoc these madmen wreak abroad. Under normal circumstances, we would pay little heed to petty disturbances outside our borders. The final days, however, are another matter altogether. For we dare not ignore these prophetic words of Eld. The Endbearers will come, ushering chaos and calamity. The final days descend and devour the very star.
I've never heard this prophecy.
Is it true? Will all that really happen?
Calm yourselves. The time has come to speak of the Forum's most sacred duties. But first...
Give voice to the voiceless. Let bindings be unbound. By unanimous decree, I declare the enchantment broken.
Master Leveilleur, if you would.
Very well. "270 years ago, our forebears began an expedition in the Dravanian hinterlands, in search of a route to access the ethereal sea. This much is public knowledge. Their findings, however, would become the Forum's most closely guarded secret. What those researchers discovered in the hinterlands was not a passage unto the ethereal sea, but the very heart of our star, and Hydaelyn herself. She spoke to them of a calamity that would extinguish all life, and of a means by which we might be spared. The moon. 'Tis in truth a gargantuan vessel built to serve as sanctuary for her children and deliver them from this doom. Much like Nunkref's hope in ages past, it will bear the people of a world in the throes of death to a new home.
Needless to say, this will be no small undertaking. To facilitate the great work, the Forum has maintained close contact with the servants of Hydaelyn, who presently reside on the moon. Convinced that the foretold end was all but inevitable, we began amassing a wealth of knowledge, not merely for the betterment of our nation, but in preparation for the journey to come.
You reveal this to us now? By the gods, how long do we have?
While we cannot say with certainty, we believe the hour to be nigh. We received a transmission from the moon suggesting as much not long ago. Which is why we must in earnest begin preparations for the Great Exodus. For his impressive contributions and the leadership he demonstrated during our withdrawal from Dravania, we have elected Master Leveilleur to oversee this initiative.
Fellow scribes and scholars, my countrymen, we face a threat of unprecedented scale. We must challenge the trials before us with composure and conviction if we are to find salvation.
Who are you gonna take with you, though?
The wisdom of Sharlayan has ever been a shining beacon in the darkness.
I wonder.
And so it shall continue to be. It is our solemn charge to see our heritage preserved for future generations. For those who will come after, we will brave a new frontier.
Administrative edicts will be relayed to all major institutions ere long. In the meantime, carry on with your duties. With that, I hereby call this assembly to a close.
I wonder. Keep calm and carry on, you know.
Do you remember what Mother told us when we visited home? That it wasn't until after we were born that Father seemed to lose himself in his work.
Oh, I actually loved him. Bleh.
If that great work of his was the evacuation of this star, then...
Yes. It wasn't for his benefit. Would you mind waiting here a moment? I wish to speak with Father before we leave.
Why is there no want me to kill him? Take your time.
Thank you.
I hate it.
I shan't be long.
If it's all the same to you, I have a few choice words to share with Father as well.
Kill him. Such a stupid plot point.
So, come to call us cowards and
Shut up!
bid us join your fruitless battle
damn.
against the inevitable.
Nay, we do not object to the Forum's proposal. On the contrary, those who wish to flee have every right to do so. Urianger is cooperating with your associates on the moon to ensure that all is ready should evacuation be our only recourse.
Then whatever your business, I suggest you be brief.
Though we cannot boast the boundless wisdom of Sharlayan, we have first-hand knowledge of foreign cultures and have conversed with no small number of peoples. These experiences have taught us fundamental truths that cannot be recorded in any tome, nor charted on any map. The beating heart of this planet is its people, many of whom would give anything, even their lives, to protect the lands they love. Many may choose to join you in the end. But what of those unwilling or unable, for whom escape will never be an option? What would you have them do? To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, Father. It is indolence. This is why we choose to fight.
We'll not ask for your understanding, Father. Only that you don't turn a blind eye to the good we have done. that we can still do. We're not children in need of protection. Hold fast to your principles and let the world burn if it please. But we believe there is still another way. And if there is, we will find it. You see if we don't.
Do as you will. Just stay out of our way.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
Were he not so consumed with self-righteousness, he might tell you how proud he is of you both.
Come on now.
Bold words call for bold action. And there'll be no turning to your father should plans go awry.
As if I ever would. So long as there are those who wish to stay and fight for this star, we have to do what we can to help them.
And if we're to do that, we'll need to be well rested.
Nap time.
Wouldn't you agree? And having triumphed over what we once thought to be the source of all evil, I can think of no one in greater need of at least a dozen winks.
12 hours of sleep.
Shall we then? To the Annex. To prepare for tomorrow.
"40 wings? What do you mean? For like 40 minutes? I'm mesmerized by the significance of 40. It's a good number. It should be. Uh-oh, autism moment. I want things to be logical. Kyle tells me the forum made a rather momentous announcement. So there's to be a great exodus, is there? I'm reminded of my narrow escape from the Owl of Val. The realization, the running, the mixture of relief and regret after. Why me, I ask myself. Why me? Why us? Why now? Why wonder? There's no use fretting over the cosmic morality or lack thereof. We're here and we'll get through this together. And who knows, maybe my luck will rub off and grant everyone a narrow escape. There's no harm in praying for as much. Oh, but enough of my rambling. I'm sure you're exhausted. Your chamber awaits. I love you, Ojika. That was a certified autism moment. The moon. No. Who's there? A visitor has come knocking at your door. Whoever could it be? Who do we want to talk to? Alphino, Alize, Thancred, Yustola, Graha, or Estinian? It depends on your choice. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you, like, whoever you pick is the person that is at your door. So, do you want to talk to Graha or do you want to talk to someone else? I'm giving you viewer's choice. Alright, Yerstola. Let's talk to Yerstola. Yeah. Certified Yerstola moment coming up. There she is.
You're still awake. Good. Might I trouble you to stand still for a moment?
Anything for you, Yerstola. Take a good look at those thigh boots.
Nothing appears out of the ordinary. A precautionary measure. You will recall that serving as a vessel for abundant light in the First very nearly ended poorly. In your recent battle on the moon, you were almost certainly exposed to similar, if not greater, forces. Fortunately, from what I can see, you and your ether are none the worse for wear. Would that Reen were here to confirm my assessment. To think you actually found yourself in a direct confrontation with Zodiac. As if Xenos gallivanting about in your body was not misfortune enough. Did you so grossly offend every single deity in a past life that they saw fit to place a curse upon your soul?
Maybe.
Forgive me. That was in poor taste. I recall vividly how battered and broken it was in the depths of Amarot. Would that you could have seen it with your own eyes. Mayhap then you would understand why the greater part of me is glad you did not. It was a horror beyond description. Promise me you will be careful, that you will seek my counsel if you feel unwell.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
That puts my heart at ease, if only a touch. I suspect it will grow colder as the night wears on, so do be sure to stay warm. Sleep well. May the shadows keep you.
I love those little, like, horror elements they just sprinkle in. Viewed. Oh. A short while earlier in the Alamegan Quarter. If you choose Estinian, he comes into your room and he, like, leaves through your window. Because the twins are fucking around in this room.
Thank the gods that tower is gone. The sight of it was enough to make me sick.
Thank the Ilsabar contingent, more like. Word is, they fought their way into Garlemald and toppled the bloody thing themselves. Not just the one, neither. All the towers have up and vanished.
Aye, I heard the same. Commander Aldin and his troops helped keep casualties to a minimum, too. But is it true they brought back tempered Garlean soldiers?
As Commander Aldin tells it, they've a treatment for that now. But don't you worry. Cured or not, they've no plans to bring them into the city proper.
I love it.
I see. Well, that's a relief then. I know we've brothers and sisters among the lot, but I can't say I'm eager to welcome them home.
Wanted to think about it for a while yet. They're to be looked after in Alagana for the time being.
Whoa. What's that? What was that? Meanwhile, in Ishgard... Ernville! Hello, sir.
Another day, another commission of paramount importance. Well, what have we here?
The best guy. Oh.
Hey, are you all right? Was that? No. The shadows play tricks, nothing more. The towers are gone, and the Garlean threat is abated. And yet, why does it feel as though it's about to get much, much worse?
Your instincts are good, my man. Oh boy. Uh-oh. You have completed the quest Endwalker Part 1! Woo! Endwalker Part 1. Boogers. Let's see. How much time do you have today? Do you think you can go just normal time or half an hour after? What suits you today? Okay, perfect. Tatari is furrowing her brow in consternation. Oh, Dwashe, I was just about to call for you. I'm afraid we've received another call for assistance. This one comes from Rotted Han. The others have assembled in the main hall to discuss the situation. You must join them at once. That means we're about halfway through Endwalker. Woo! Crazy. Ah, there you are. Our worst fears have come to pass, but moments ago we received grim tidings from our contact in Rotted Han. Vile beasts have appeared as if out of nowhere, claiming one victim after the next. What's more, they say the very sky burns above them. Good gods, are the final days already upon us? It would appear so. Sadly, that is all the information we have at present. No doubt the people of Rotted Han are busy fighting for their lives. Then we must go at once. They need our help. Agreed. Kryle, you'd best remain here with Tataru and gather what knowledge you can. You are in no condition for a long journey, I imagine. Very well. Similar phenomena may have been observed elsewhere, and if so, we must know about it at once. Be safe out there, yes? Let us make first for Yedlamad. We must prepare ourselves for what may lie ahead.
Wow.
Oh man. Yeah, from here on out, it's pretty much just...
And lo, vile beasts did rise.
Yup. Pedal to the metal.
Leaving naught in their wake but blood and ash. Sun scorches earth and boils seas. And our sins ascend unto the heavens. 3 dooms to unmake all we were.
The sky burns. The final days are truly upon us.
My friends, I trust you have heard the news.
We have. What can you tell us of the situation, Your Excellency?
Shit's fucked.
Last night, the Isle was rocked by tremors, and the earth itself cried out. Aloft, the heavens began to burn. From all about, unholy beasts, the likes of which we had never seen, came forth in fury and rage. No. To say they came forth would be inexact. The people of Radzatan themselves transformed into these baleful fiends. Though the phenomenon was observed throughout our lands, the first creature, the largest and most dreadful of the lot, wrought havoc upon us here in our fair city. Though they bear superficial resemblance to divinities of legend, they are ungodly abominations. The people decry them as blasphemies. The large one's rampage has since taken it to the northern reaches of the island. I mean to dispatch our radiant host in an attempt to quell the threat.
And what of Vritra?
Vritra too makes for the north of his own accord, and yet he knows the blasphemy and its minions were but yesterday his beloved people. I pray his boundless compassion and mercy does not deter him from taking unenviable but necessary action.
Understood. I ask that you allow us to aid you in quelling this threat.
You would risk your lives to help us yet again? I have no words to express my gratitude. Our regiments approach the north from several directions, with a number of units set to depart from the docks of Yedlamad. They will make landfall in an area of dense jungle, where one can expect to encounter dangers even beyond the fell beasts we hunt.
Fun.
I leave you to your preparation. You will find me at the docks when you are ready to depart.
We're as prepared as we'll ever be. Let's go.
Everyone has assembled, yes? I thank you for lending us your aid in our battle against the blasphemy. Let us review our plan of attack. I would have you board this boat and circle around to the north side of the island. There you will find a dense jungle we call Vanaspati. It is a sacred wood, home to many temples and a number of villages. Vritra and the Radiant Host have gone there ahead of us. I ask that you join them and do all in your power to destroy the blasphemy. That means it's dungeon time. But not today. Because that's gonna take too long. Oh, we are gonna have a little chat with our friends here, and then we're gonna call stream for today. So the beasts are not born of creation magics run amok, but are rather the altered forms of the people themselves. In that sense, this manifestation of the final days differs from that which we witnessed in Armorot. And for the worse, I dare say. If any man, woman, or child could become a beast at any moment, there's no telling whence the next threat might come. We must exercise extreme caution. Don't worry, no matter how grim things might get, we won't lose heart. I'm ready whenever you need me. I love that difference between Alpha and O, who gets like 3 dialogue windows and Alisaie's done in 1. My little talkative boy. If it's true that the people themselves have transformed into beasts, why, even the Radiant Host could suffer the same fate. Or us, perish the thought. Does say that, sir. I shall survey the environs closely as we go about our search. There may be some clue as to how we can combat this phenomenon. Usually the most dangerous foe in a worm's domain is the worm themselves. If I were Vritra, I would be as offended as I am horrified. Innocent souls twisted and reformed into unholy abominations. I thought I had seen the last of such nightmares with the Sin Eaters. We must act quickly, Duache. Every moment we tarry means another soul may be lost to this nightmare. Sorry to say, Graha, you're gonna have to wait another week. Oh man. Oh, yeah, we're gonna have a stretching. We're gonna have another couple of like downtimey sections, but pretty much from here on out, expect mostly pedal to the metal, getting into this shit. And I'm gonna see. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Yeah, it's probably not gonna be next stream but probably the stream after that we're gonna get into the really good stuff that I've been very excited to share with you. So it's probably gonna be next week. It's gonna be awesome, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Hee hee hee. Who knows? I'll never tell.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, like...
Yeah, I do.
I do. But let us go to the stream ending screen. Even though we did some like more downtimey stuff, I really enjoyed it. I just, you know, God forbid I had to do the Zodiark stuff today after working all day. That would have been bad. I don't think we could have done it in 3 times then. So, I do, cause it's like a holiday, I have to work next Monday, but I still want to stream that day. Just cause it's become such a habit, you know? Yeah, so I work from 10 to 5, so yeah, next. And remind me, do we have Soltura on the 11th? Or is that our break week? Okay. So, I'm just looking at my schedule and kind of like pre-planning this, so would you be down for a Monday and a Friday stream then? Since you have no prep for Soltura that week. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Alright, well. I will let you go. Thank you for being here today. Good stream. I enjoyed it a lot. And I am looking forward very much to next stream and the one after that. And yeah, so thank you for being here. Until next time, goodbye.